always get to pick your retirement date. You can be forced into retirement by health or an accident or a company shutdown. You could get laid off, and somebody gets laid off in their, late 60s, early 70s, isn't going to want to go back into that job market and go on the hunt again for another job. And you just might not get to pick your retirement date. So the time to plan is now. There's no time like the present. It's never too late. If you think you're too old to start planning for retirement, you're wrong. It's never too late to get started, because you just don't know. You could have a target on the wall. You could have it on your calendar, marked out in a big red X. This is the day. And all of a sudden something comes up and you're, a year early or 2 years early. And if your plan's not ready, if you didn't have it in place, then you're going to be playing catch up. I've been saying for 2 years now that we're in the perfect storm for annuities. We've got a market that's really high. It's been high and is continuing to climb. It's got to come down at some point. That's just a natural progression of things. And we've got interest rates that are high and have been high and are looking to come down a little bit. So that's a perfect storm for annuities. Why not take some of those chips off the table, take some of that money that you've made in the market, lock it in for a shorter period of time, 3-5 years at a decent, respectable interest rate, and make it safe. Take those winnings that you've gotten in the market and make them safe with a good interest rate. He was comfortable with it, but when we got started, Chris, they weren't. They really didn't think that they had enough money. He was going to keep on working and jamming as much money as he could into the 401k. And we were able to look at, what's your dream? What's your dream retirement? What do you want to do? And how much money do you have to work with? And I was able to tell him, hey guys, you're fine. You're going to get to do everything that you want and then some, and then have some left over to pass on to your kids. And you just see the weight come off their shoulders. It's just relieved, because they really didn't think they had enough. You and I talk about these surveys all the time that says, you've got to have $1.8 million to retire in America. And, in Central Texas, that's really not the case. You don't have to, because what if you don't? What if you have $1.2 million? What if you have 200,000? It's a very, very arbitrary number. It's very specific to you and your plans, what you want your retirement to look like.